Hey everybody, I'm Arden. Welcome to ProSingers Success Collective. Coach Judy's in the house again today. We got so many great comments from last time, so I'm having her back to talk more mindset hacks. In case you don't know, Judy is our expert transformational mindset coach who works with the singers in our intensive program on shifting and transforming their mindset so that they are more powerful singers and performers because they know how to get out of their own way when it counts. So welcome, Coach Judy. Thanks for coming back.
Glad to be here. I'm excited to be back.
So Judy and I were talking, and we love when we see patterns in our singers that tend to be the things that cause them to wobble and get in their way. And one of the patterns that we have seen that we're going to talk about today, because maybe it's something that you experience, it is something that is a big, what I'm going to call mind weed, a weed that can overtake the garden in your mind and just get in the way of you being able to use your body and connect with an audience and also act on your own behalf in ways that really serve everything that you want, both on stage and off, is black and white thinking. So Judy, can you talk about what is black and white thinking and how does it affect us, especially as performers?
You know, black and white thinking is so prevalent because it is polarizing, right? Black and white. And so it's believing things are either good or bad, and there's nothing in between. It's the good and the bad. And so, unfortunately, what seems to happen whenever singers get out there and start singing is their mind just goes hyper focused on bad. And so, because that focus is on bad, then they think things are always going to go badly. One thing goes badly, and you like carry it with you for the rest of your life because it went bad that one time. Now it's every time. And so they get this always happens to me kind of mindset. And then they become a victim to their circumstances instead of being empowered in their circumstances.
Yes. And, you know, as Shakespeare said, what is it? 'Tis nothing neither bad nor good, 'tis thinking makes it so. And that's exactly what you're talking about. Because nothing really is good or bad. It's our perception of it. And the more we align with the black and white thinking, the more we dig ourselves into that hole that you were talking about. So how do you like to coach singers when you notice that they're getting into black and white thinking? And like, what does that look like? Like when one of our singers, you know, Judy has worked for a long time now with all of our singers in our intensive program, and she does one-on-ones with them. And so how do you know that a singer is in black and white thinking? Like, how does that, when they come to their coaching with you, what do you notice?
Yeah, what I noticed is they come to their coaching going, well, it happened again. I did it again. I got ready to get on stage. I was fine. I was doing wonderful. And then all of a sudden, my whole body contracted. And when I went to sing, I couldn't rely on my voice. It was going all over the place. This always happens to me. And it's always happens to me is the clue that we've got black and white thinking going on. Because when we have an absolute that this always happens, that means we're never challenging it to go, wait a minute, this doesn't always have to happen. This could be different.
And it probably doesn't always happen.
No, it doesn't always happen.
Because we're picking up, like you said, the thinking tends to go skew towards bad. So we're only noticing the bad, and we don't notice the incremental progress on the other side of that most of the time.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And so that's where we'll begin to challenge it and really look and ask, so where have you seen it not happen? When have you seen that was not true? Oh, well, I do remember this time and this time and this time. So those few times where it went wrong became an always story, creating that black and white thinking.
And so if we're going to talk about some mindset hacks, tools, so singers can start to notice when they're in black and white thinking, what are your favorite things to help them fix it? So you just, first of all, said the first important one, which is to start to ask yourself, is that really true?
Right. Yeah, that's always the first question. Is this really true? What else might be possible?
Or
what's another way I can look at it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Is it always? Because we get into that place where your mind starts to play that trick on you. And most of the time it's not. Okay. So the first step is ask, is that really true? Is that very true.
Yes.
Okay.
And 99% of the time, it is not. And so, very, very rarely. So, that is the first question to ask yourself. Is it really true? And then the next thing is to notice whenever you are saying should a lot, because the should really creates the belief that it should be different. There is that black and white judgment again of what should happen. And so it's allowing yourself to question that as well. What do I mean by should? Why do I think that it's a should? And what would it look like if instead of shoulding what something should be, I look at what could be different, or what would I want it to be? What would I choose it to be? Because when you get into the changing that languaging just a little bit from the should to the I will to the I can to the more empowering words, you begin to move forward. Should is not very motivational. If you think about it, when you're questioning yourself in a certain time and you're trying to tell yourself, I just should do it, how
Right.
often do you really follow through and do that?
Right. The shoulds. You know the saying, stop shoulding all over yourself, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Uh-huh.
But I want you guys to understand what should looks like, right? Like I should be able to do this by now.
Mhm.
I have been auditioning forever. I should get that role. I should, or I have to is a version of should also.
Mhm.
Like I
Mhm.
have to be able to do this. That's black and white, you know, and it's sabotaging because what does that do to your energy?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So noticing shoulds
Mhm.
and those are versions of, what would you say, expectations we put on ourselves that are not actually rooted in possibility, but they're rooted in what we think has to happen in order for us not to fail, because our ego mind has convinced us that if it doesn't happen this way, again, black
Exactly.
and white thinking, if it doesn't happen this way, then I'm done. I'm a goner.
Mhm.
Ain't gonna happen for me. Okay.
That's exactly right.
So then once we've identified the shoulds, how do we shift into possibility?
You shift into possibility by saying, what would it take to motivate me to do this? Instead of coming from a place of should, that's one question. What would it take to motivate me? But you might discover when you ask that question, then, wait a minute, is this really something I should be doing? So it's the other thing to ask yourself, is this should true? Is it true that by this point I should be further along? Well, that's subjective. It's not really black and white.
It's not black and white. It's all in your thinking. You've
Uh-huh.
decided that where you are is bad. And you've also decided that where
Mhm.
somebody else is or something else is good. But that's just your perception. And
Mhm.
so when you notice that that one of our singers, like I'll ask you, you know, is there a specific singer that's coming to mind that you coached when they came to you with all this black and white thinking? And do you remember sort of how, you know, the process of coaching them out of it? Is there anybody who comes to mind? And you don't have to use their real name.
I'll say Joe. Um, Joe would use the word never a lot.
Uh,
I am never able to hit that certain note.
I
I
know who
am
Joe is.
never
Exactly who Joe is.
I am never able to walk out on stage and be confident because it's just not reliable. I am never, I'm nevered myself so much until he realized, wait, it's not never. It was a few times. And then we keep, again, it's like this bag of garbage we put on our shoulder and we carry it around. This is my nevers that I've experienced. I'm just going to keep bringing them with me
Like, they
everywhere I
belong to
go.
me. They're mine. Yeah.
Exactly. And so my little hack for everyone with that one is to recognize that and put all of those nevers in there, that I never do's, and throw it out and choose what you do, what you really do, what the truth is. Because in all of these things, it's letting the truth set you free. When you ask the doubt inducing question of, is this really true 100% of the time? Never, which is what never means. Well, no, it's not. And so you can say, I don't have to hang on to that thought anymore. I can let it go. I can throw it away. I can say, no, monkey mind, you go over there and you swing on another tree. I am not listening to that anymore.
Mm-hmm. And what I want to point out to you guys that Judy is constantly reiterating, if you didn't already notice it, is that you get to choose your thoughts. Your first thought might be habit. It might be the old conditioned thinking from your parents, your family of origin, your religion, your friend group, your education, whatever. But you can always choose your second thought. And part of the genius of the work that Judy does with our singers, and that all of the mindset work, is in teaching you, number one, that you can choose your thoughts, and then giving you coaching around what you replace it with, how you choose better thoughts. So she's giving you this right now. She's giving you how to choose better thoughts around black and white thinking, around the nevers, around the have tos and the shoulds, and the things that are those fixed mindset, difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And so what were the things that made the biggest difference for, we'll call him Joe. I know exactly who he is. I love him to death. Yes.
I would say the thing that made the biggest difference for him was really asking those questions. Every time it would come up, I would ask him to bring the awareness to, oh, there's the word again. What am I saying? Never has happened again. And then asking himself, is that true? And he found that it was not true, that it really mostly even went back to one story, not even multiple times, one event, one situation where it was so traumatic for what happened that it made it feel like it was going to always be that way. And so he just kept carrying it with him.
Yeah. But this is why the mindset work that Judy does with her singers is so important, because if Joe or any of you have that never story, I mean, tell me in the chat, do you have a never story? Do you have a should story? Do you have a have to story? I have to get an agent, release my first album, and chart in the top 40 by the time I'm 30, or else blah, 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 blah. Do you have a have to story? That's black and white thinking. Either I'm 30 and I'm charting and I'm doing it, or I'm a failure, right? Or a never story like Joe. Tell me in the chat, do you resonate? Is this you? Out yourself. The only way we fix these problems is by becoming aware of them. Okay? And the most important reason that we do this is because if Joe or you are carrying around a never story, and we're working in studio class and we're working on up-leveling and breaking through and getting to the next level of the technique issues, the performance practice, the impact, and you're carrying a never story or a should or a have to, if you're carrying black and white thinking around this, no amount of skill set is going to help, because that story will convince you that it's just not possible for you. And for the majority of the singers, it then stops them from taking the actions that they otherwise could, that would actually move the needle into those successes that they really want. So I'm going to invite you all to explore your own black and white thinking. Let me know, let Coach G know, let us know in the chat how you see that showing up to you. Play with these new reframes, these new hacks when you notice that black and white thinking coming up, and just be really vigilant about nipping it in the bud as soon as you notice it. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Judy?
Just one little thing, because you said something a moment ago that really made something pop into my mind, because it happened freshly today. And that's, you said it's a habit we get into. How we think it does become habitual. And today there was a singer who brought to a call that something had not gone well with an audition, and they had extreme disappointment. And they said, but that's just what I do. I always am disappointed when I don't get what I want in the way that I want it. And the thing that really struck me as that person said it is that that's just a habit you're in. That's not true right now. That's just the habit you're in. You're telling yourself, oh, this didn't go like the way I want it to. And so when things don't go like I wanted to, I'm always disappointed.
Right. This is what
always.
Always, right. Always, never, Have to, should, right.
I'm
Exactly.
always disappointed. This is just what I do. Well, guess what? You can say goodbye to that habit and say, that's not what I always do. I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore. So I'm going to just pick myself up. I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm going to take the data from it and I'm going to keep moving forward because that's what's going to get me where I want to go.
Right. Because if you choose, because remember, we're just talking about you get to choose your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you choose, because you are choosing it, it is a habit. You may not consciously choose it, but it is, you are choosing it. That's what I do. I'm always disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose another habit that when an audition doesn't go your way, which will happen. We're human, right? And if you're somebody who's out there and you're auditioning a lot, it's a numbers game. You will have bad auditions. You can count on it. Okay. When that happens, you can choose to reframe it differently. You can choose a different thought around it. You don't have to choose disappointment. This is something we talk about all the time, which is how we reframe challenges, how we reframe disappointments. You get to choose a different meaning for that bad audition. And I actually think that's a fantastic topic that we should do one of these on again next time, because if we start talking about that now, we'll be here for 2 hours.
Oh, I know, because there's so much goodness to unpack in that, isn't there?
So I think we'll do that. What do you say?
Okay.
Is it deal? Should we do that?
I think so.
Okay, we'll do that. So for now, you guys, take all the goodness, notice your thinking, give yourself some grace around it. Don't blame yourself for it. Just know that you can choose something that serves your performances, your impact, your technique, and your journey a lot better. And if you're a pro singer and you want to learn some game-changing tools and tactics and strategies to be able to uplevel your career, to land those next elite singing opportunities, then do not waste a minute and join us for our upcoming 7-day online Pro Singer Career Accelerator Workshop. So this is for you if you are a pro singer and you have a lot of training and you are out there and you are performing and you are hustling and you are auditioning and you're doing everything you know how to do and you're getting gigs, you're getting stuff, you know you're in the mix, right? But it's just not happening big enough or sustainably enough or bringing you enough income because these gigs are too few and far between. You haven't really broken through. So what I'm going to teach you over these 7 days are the up levels that you have yet to fully realize to be able to land your next elite singing opportunities and do that regularly. So we're going to get in there with hands-on live coaching, live training. We will have guinea pigs, get up and sing. My eyes and ears on you. I'm going to give you tools and exercises and trainings and things that you can do actionably, guys. This is about action. This is not just about sitting here and just listening and like learning a bunch of things. We're going to give you actionable tools that you can use, tools for your technique, tools that help you shift your mindset, tools that help merge mind and body so that when you stand up there and you know how big the competition is, because at the level that you're playing at, there's competition. And no matter what, you know how to bring it, anyone, anywhere, anytime, at a level that is greater than you're doing right now to break through to your next elite singing opportunities regularly. Okay, 7-day Pro Singer Career Accelerator Workshop, 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 p.m. East Coast time. Guys, I'm doing this for free for the same reason that I do all of my free training, because I want you to understand that there is another way to train that will get you where you want to go. This is for you if you are a serious singer, you are a pro singer. This is not for you if you're just kind of testing the waters and you're starting out a little bit and you're, no, this is for you if you are in the game, you have training, you are out there, you are hustling, you are performing, you are putting yourself out there, and there's a level of results that you want that you're still not seeing. And so we're going to teach you how to break through to that level, break through the competition, break through the noise, how to show up to yourself, your voice, your journey, your artistry, your performances in a way that is undeniable to bring the consistency of those next elite gigs. So register, do not miss it. I'm giving this stuff to you, so soak it in, block it out on your calendar, and I will see you there. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, Judy.
Oh, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey guys, if you want to attend our next free 7-day online Pro Singer Career Accelerator Masterclass Series, which you absolutely should do, then click that square button in the left-hand corner down there to register, and I will see you inside.